Do you know who my father is? He's a Providence police officer. He's got 20 years on the force. One word from him, and your parking meter career is over. Those words hang in the air of Providence Municipal Court. Judge Frank Caprio sits at the bench. His face is calm, but his eyes are sharp, very sharp. The young man who just spoke is Dylan Brennan. He's 23 years old. He stands in front of the judge wearing a North Face jacket that costs $400. His Nike Air Max shoes are brand new, white and pristine. His hair is styled with expensive gel. It shines under the courtroom lights. A gold chain peeks out from under his collar. His arms are crossed. His chin is up. He looks like he owns the place. Behind Dylan sits an older woman. Her name is Rita Chun. She's 58 years old. She works as a hospice nurse. She's been doing it for 32 years. Her scrubs are faded from 1,000 washes. Her shoes are worn at the heels. She's here because of Dylan, because of what he did. Her hands shake in her lap. There's a bandage on her left wrist. Fresh, white against her brown skin. If you believe that everyone deserves equal justice no matter who their parents are, you'll want to see what happens next. Because what Judge Caprio is about to do will restore your faith in the system. The bailiff had called the case 5 minutes earlier. Case number 2025, TR 91847. State versus Dylan Michael Brennan. Reckless driving, leaving the scene of an accident, and failure to render aid. Judge Caprio had looked up from his papers. Mr. Brennan, please step forward. Dylan had walked up slowly, too slowly, like he was doing the judge a favor. His footsteps echoed in the quiet courtroom. People watched. About 40 people filled the gallery. Some were waiting for their own cases. Others were just observers. Court watchers. People who believe in justice. Mr. Brennan, Judge Caprio had said. His voice was even. Professional. Do you understand the charges against you? Dylan had shrugged. Actually shrugged. I guess. It's all overblown, though. Seriously. A woman in the third row had gasped softly. An older man had frowned. You don't shrug in court. Everyone knows that. Judge Caprio had continued. According to the police report, on January 8th at approximately 4:15 p.m., you were driving on Elmwood Avenue. You struck another vehicle. That vehicle belonged to Ms. Rita Chun, who is present today. After the collision, you left the scene. You did not stop. You did not check if anyone was hurt. You did not call for help. Is that accurate? Dylan had rolled his eyes. Look, it was barely a tap. My truck has a steel bumper. I didn't think it was a big deal. A tap, Judge Caprio had repeated. Ms. Chun, would you please stand? Rita Chun had stood slowly. She's a small woman, maybe 5 feet 2 inches tall. She weighs perhaps 115 pounds. Her left arm is in a brace. The bandage on her wrist continues up under her sleeve. Her face shows pain. The kind of pain that doesn't go away quickly. Ms. Chun, Judge Caprio had said gently, can you tell the court about your injuries? Her voice was soft, respectful. Your Honor, when his truck hit my car, my vehicle spun. It hit a utility pole. The impact broke my wrist in 2 places. I also have 3 fractured ribs. Severe bruising. I was in the hospital for 2 days. The courtroom had gone very still. You could hear the heating system humming, the clock on the wall ticking. Dylan had shifted his weight. I didn't know it was that bad. How was I supposed to know? You would have known, Judge Caprio had said, if you had stopped. That's when Dylan had said it. The words about his father. The words about running the city. The words that changed everything. Judge Caprio leans back in his chair now. He studies Dylan. 10 seconds pass. 15. The silence grows heavy. Uncomfortable. Dylan shifts his feet. His confidence wavers. Just a little. Just enough to notice. Mr. Brennan, the judge finally says, let me make sure I understand you correctly. You're suggesting that because your father is a police officer, you should receive special treatment in my courtroom. Is that accurate? Dylan's lawyer, a tired-looking man in a rumpled suit, stands quickly. Your Honor, my client is understandably upset. He didn't mean. I asked Mr. Brennan, Judge Caprio says. His voice isn't loud, but it cuts through everything. Not you. Sit down. The lawyer sits. Judge Caprio looks at Dylan again. I'll ask once more. Are you saying your father's position should influence my judgment? Dylan's jaw tightens. I'm saying my dad knows everyone. He's respected. He's got connections. And yeah, maybe that matters. Maybe that's how the world works. A man in the gallery stands up, His face is red. "That's garbage," he shouts. The bailiff, a tall man with gray hair, moves toward him. "Sir, sit down or leave." The man sits, but he's shaking his head. Angry, Judge Caprio makes a note on his legal pad. His pen moves slowly, deliberately. "Mr. Brennan, I'm documenting your statement. For the record, continue." Dylan looks confused. "Continue what?" "Tell me more about how your father runs this city. I'm interested." The sarcasm is so light you almost miss it. But it's there. Dylan doesn't catch it. He knows the mayor, Dylan says. He knows all the councilmen. He's been on the force for 20 years. He's helped a lot of people. Important people. They owe him. "I see," Judge Caprio says. He writes more notes. "And you believe these important people will intervene on your behalf. In a traffic case, where you injured another person and fled the scene." "I didn't flee. I just left." "Those are the same thing, Mr. Brennan." The clerk, a woman with gray-streaked hair and glasses, clears her throat. "Your Honor, if I may?" Judge Caprio nods. "Go ahead, Mrs. Patterson." "We've received several phone calls regarding this case. 3 from the Providence Police Union, 2 from City Council members, 1 from the Office of the Police Chief, all requesting leniency for the defendant." The courtroom erupts. People gasp. Someone says "no way" out loud. Another person mutters something angry. The bailiff doesn't even try to quiet them. He just stands there, his arms crossed, his face grim. Judge Caprio doesn't react. He just keeps writing. When the noise dies down, he looks up. "Thank you, Mrs. Patterson. Note all those calls in the official record, with dates and times." "Yes, Your Honor. Already done." "Good." Judge Caprio turns to Dylan. "Mr. Brennan, it seems you were telling the truth. Your father does have connections, and those connections have attempted to influence this court. That's very interesting." Dylan smiles. He actually smiles. He thinks he's winning. "So we're good then. Can I go?" The gallery groans. Someone says, "Are you kidding me?" A woman in the front row shakes her head in disbelief. Judge Caprio doesn't smile. "No, Mr. Brennan. We are not good. We are very far from good. Let me explain something to you. In my courtroom, it doesn't matter who your father is. It doesn't matter who your mother is. It doesn't matter if your uncle is the governor or your aunt is a Supreme Court justice. The law is the law. Justice is justice. Everyone stands equal here. Everyone." Dylan's smile fades. "But..." "I'm not finished," Judge Caprio says. His voice is firm but not angry. "You stand here in expensive clothes, gold around your neck, designer shoes on your feet. You speak with arrogance, with entitlement. You show no remorse, no concern for the woman you hurt. Instead, you threaten me. You name drop. You expect special treatment. Let me be very clear. That approach will not work. Not here. Not today. Not ever." Dylan's face changes. The cocky expression slips. "I wasn't threatening you. I was just saying." "I know what you were saying." The court reporter typed every word. It's in the official transcript. "Now, let's review the evidence. Officer Martinez, please approach." A uniformed police officer stands from the back row. He's young, maybe 30. He walks to the front with a folder in his hand. He looks nervous. His eyes dart to Dylan, then away. "Officer Martinez," Judge Caprio says, "you were the responding officer. Tell the court what you found." Officer Martinez opens his folder. "Your Honor, I arrived at the scene at 4:23 p.m., 8 minutes after the collision. Ms. Chun was still in her vehicle. She was conscious but in severe pain. Her car, a 2008 Honda Civic, had sustained major damage to the driver's side. The entire door was caved in. The window was shattered. The vehicle had spun approximately 180 degrees and struck a utility pole on the passenger side." "And the defendant's vehicle?" "We located it 40 minutes later at the defendant's residence on the east side. A 2022 Ford F-250 pickup truck, lifted, with an aftermarket steel bumper. The bumper showed paint transfer matching Ms. Chen's vehicle. There was also a small dent. Very minor damage to the defendant's truck, but clear evidence of impact." "Did Mr. Brennan make any statements when you located him?" Officer Martinez hesitates. He looks uncomfortable. "Your Honor, Mr. Brennan is the son of Officer Thomas Brennan. Officer Brennan and I work in the same district. He's a good cop. This is difficult." "I understand," Judge Caprio says gently. "But the court needs to know. What did the defendant say?" Officer Martinez takes a breath. When we arrived, Mr. Brennan was in his driveway, washing his truck. He said, and I quote, "This is ridiculous. It was nothing. She probably brake-checked me on purpose. People do that for insurance money." When I informed him that Ms. Chun was injured and hospitalized, he said, "That's not my problem. I barely touched her. She's probably faking it for a payout." Rita Chun makes a small sound, a whimper, like she's been hit. Her hands go to her face. Her shoulders shake. She's crying, trying not to, failing. The gallery is angry now. A young woman in the fourth row has tears in her eyes. An elderly man shakes his head slowly, back and forth, disgusted. Judge Caprio's expression doesn't change, but something shifts in his eyes. Something hard. Officer Martinez, was there any indication Mr. Brennan was remorseful? Any concern for Ms. Chen's well-being? No, Your Honor. None. Did he ask about her condition? Her injuries? No, Your Honor. Did he offer to make things right? To help? To take responsibility? No, Your Honor. He said, and again I quote, "My dad will take care of this. It'll disappear. It always does." The courtroom explodes. People shout. Someone says unbelievable. Another person says lock him up. The bailiff raises his hand. Order. Order in the court. It takes a full minute for things to calm down. Judge Caprio sits silently, waiting, patient. When the room is quiet again, he speaks. "Officer Martinez, I know this is difficult. You work with the defendant's father. But I appreciate your honesty, your integrity. That took courage." Officer Martinez nods. He looks relieved and sad. "Your Honor, if I may say something?" "Go ahead." Officer Brennan is a good cop. He really is. He's saved lives. He's helped people. He's mentored younger officers like me. But this. He gestures toward Dylan. This isn't right. If my son did this, I'd want him held accountable. I'd want him to learn, to be better. Justice shouldn't depend on who you know. It should depend on what you did. And what Mr. Brennan did was wrong. Judge Caprio nods. "Thank you, officer. You may sit." Officer Martinez returns to his seat. Dylan is pale now. Very pale. The color has drained from his face. His hands are in his pockets. He's trying to look casual, but his jaw is tight. His shoulders are tense. "Mr. Brennan," Judge Caprio says, "do you dispute Officer Martinez's account?" Dylan's lawyer stands again. "Your Honor, my client wishes to." "I'm asking your client, counselor, not you." The lawyer sits. Dylan swallows hard. I don't remember saying those exact words. But you don't deny saying them." "I was upset, stressed. I didn't mean it the way it sounded." "How did you mean it?" Dylan opens his mouth, closes it, opens it again. "I don't know. It was a bad day." "A bad day," Judge Caprio repeats. "Miss Chun, would you stand again, please?" Rita Chun stands slowly. She stopped crying. Her face is wet, but her expression is composed. Dignified. "Miss Chun, tell the court about your bad day. January 8th, the day of the collision." Her voice is steady, quiet but clear. "I had worked a double shift. 16 hours. 2 of my patients passed away that day. I held their hands. I called their families. I helped prepare their bodies. When you work in hospice, death is part of the job, but never gets easier. Never." She pauses, takes a breath. "I was driving home. I was tired. So tired, but I was being careful. Always careful. I saw Mr. Brennan's truck behind me. It was very close. Too close. Tailgating. I couldn't see his headlights. Just this massive grill in my mirror. I was scared. I slowed down. I wanted him to pass me, to go around. Instead, he hit me." "What do you remember about the impact?" Judge Caprio asks. "Everything went sideways. The world was spinning. My head hit the window. My arm twisted. I heard metal screaming. Glass breaking. Then I hit the pole. The airbag deployed. It felt like being punched in the face. I couldn't breathe. My ribs were on fire. I thought I was dying." The courtroom is absolutely silent. Every eye is on Rita Chun. She's not crying now. She's just telling the truth. Simple. Direct. "I looked for the other driver. The one who hit me. I wanted to see if he was okay. If he was hurt. But his truck was gone. Just gone. Like I didn't matter. Like I wasn't even human. I sat there bleeding and broken and alone. For 8 minutes. 8 minutes that felt like 8 hours. Until Officer Martinez arrived. "Thank you, Miss Chun," Judge Caprio says softly. "Please sit." She sits. Her face is pale. Reliving it has cost her something. You can see it in her eyes. Judge Caprio turns to Dylan. "Mr. Brennan, do you have anything to say to Ms. Chun?" Dylan looks at her, then away. "I'm sorry it happened." "You're sorry it happened," Judge Caprio says. "Not that you did it. It happened. Like it was weather. Like it was fate. No, Mr. Brennan. You did it. You were driving too fast. Too close. You hit her. You hurt her. You left her. Those are actions. Your actions. Do you understand the difference?" Dylan's face flushes red. "This is insane. I came here to pay a fine. To get this over with. Instead you're treating me like some kind of criminal." "You are a criminal," Judge Caprio says. His voice is still calm. Still even. But the words land like hammers. "You committed a crime. Reckless driving is a crime. Leaving the scene of an accident is a crime. Failing to render aid is a crime. You are, by definition, a criminal. The question is not whether you are one. The question is what we do about it." Dylan's lawyer stands one more time. "Your Honor, with respect, my client has no prior record. He's a college student. He's gainfully employed. This is an aberration. A mistake. We're prepared to accept a reasonable fine and restitution. Let's not ruin a young man's future over one bad decision." Judge Caprio looks at the lawyer. "Counselor, your client's bad decision put a woman in the hospital. That bad decision could have killed her. And instead of taking responsibility, he ran. He hid. He used his father's name as a shield. That shows character. Or rather, the lack of it. Sit down." The lawyer sits. He looks defeated. He knows how this is going to end. "Mr. Brennan," Judge Caprio says, "I want to show you something. Mrs. Patterson, please pull up the defendant's social media records." The clerk types on her computer. A screen on the wall lights up. It shows a Facebook page. Dylan Brennan's Facebook page. There are photos. Lots of photos. These posts are from the evening of January 8th. Hours after the collision. After you left Ms. Chun bleeding in her car. Let's see what you were doing. The first image shows Dylan at a bar. He's holding a beer. Laughing. The caption says, "Rough day, but we roll with it." The timestamp says 6:15 p.m. Less than 2 hours after the crash. The next image shows Dylan with friends. They're taking shots. The caption says, "Haters gonna hate." 7:30 p.m. The next one shows Dylan's truck. Freshly washed. Gleaming. The caption says, "Keep her clean. Keep her mean." 8:45 p.m. Before the police found him. The courtroom is stunned. Someone in the gallery says, "Oh my God." Another person says, "Are you serious?" Dylan's face goes from red to red again. That's private." "It was public," Judge Caprio says. "Posted publicly. For everyone to see. Including the court. Including Ms. Chun. These posts show consciousness of guilt. They show callous disregard. They show a pattern of behavior. You knew what you did. You knew it was wrong. And you celebrated anyway." "I wasn't celebrating. I was just what? Living your life. Moving on. Forgetting about the woman you nearly killed." Judge Caprio's voice rises for the first time. Not a shout, but louder. Sharper. "That woman went into surgery while you were doing shots. She was crying in pain while you were washing evidence off your truck. She was wondering if she'd ever work again while you were laughing with your friends. Does that seem right to you?" Dylan doesn't answer. He can't. There is no good answer. "Mrs. Patterson, what else do we have?" The clerk pulls up another document. "Text messages, Your Honor. Recovered from the defendant's phone with a warrant. Between the defendant and his father, Officer Thomas Brennan." The texts appear on the screen. Large. Clear. Everyone can read them. 4:47 p.m. Dylan, "Dad, I hit someone. Took off. What do I do?" 4:49 p.m. Thomas, "How bad?" 4:50 p.m. Dylan, "Their car is messed up. Don't know about them." 4:51 p.m. Thomas, "Where are you?" 4:52 p.m. Dylan, "Home." 4:53 p.m. Thomas, "Stay there. Say nothing. I'll handle it." The courtroom erupts again. This time it's worse. People are shouting. Standing. The bailiff can't calm them down. Judge Caprio lets it go on for a moment. Then he raises his hand. Silence falls slowly. "Let's continue," Judge Caprio says. 5:15 p.m. Thomas, talk to my captain. He's making calls. 5:16 p.m. Dylan, is it bad? 5:17 p.m. Thomas, could be. But we've got friends. Don't worry. 5:20 p.m. Dylan, thanks Dad. You're the best. 5:21 p.m. Thomas, just be smarter next time. And clean your truck. The last message hangs on the screen. Clean your truck. Destroy evidence. Obstruct justice. Judge Caprio looks at Dylan. Mr. Brennan, your father is not here today. I issued a subpoena. He refused to appear. He sent a lawyer with a letter citing stress leave. Convenient timing. But these texts tell a story. A story about a system that protects its own. A story about privilege. About connections. About how some people think they're above the law. Dylan's hands are shaking now. Actually shaking. My dad was just helping me. Your dad was obstructing justice, Judge Caprio says. And that's a separate matter. The district attorney is reviewing it. There may be charges against him. But right now we're here about you. Your actions. Your choices. Your consequences. This isn't fair, Dylan says. His voice cracks. You're making an example of me. No, Judge Caprio says. I'm treating you exactly like I'd treat anyone else. That's what fairness means. You want special treatment. You want me to see your father's badge and look the other way. That's not fairness. That's corruption. And it stops here. Today. In this courtroom. He pauses. Takes a sip of water. The whole courtroom waits. The tension is unbearable. Thick. Let me tell you a story, Mr. Brennan. When I was a young man, I made mistakes. I wasn't perfect. No one is. But when I made a mistake, I owned it. I took responsibility. I faced the consequences. That's how you grow. That's how you become a man. Not by hiding behind your father. Not by using connections. Not by running away. By standing up. By saying I was wrong. I'm sorry. I'll do better. Can you do that? Dylan is silent. 10 seconds. 20. Finally, he shakes his head. I don't know. At least that's honest, Judge Caprio says. You don't know, because no one has ever made you know. You've been protected your whole life. Insulated. Consequences bounced off you like raindrops. Well, not today. Today, you're going to learn what accountability feels like. And it's going to hurt. But maybe, if you're lucky, it'll also teach you something. He shuffles papers. Organizes them. The moment stretches. Everyone leans forward. Dylan Michael Brennan, Judge Caprio says formally, I find you guilty on all charges. Reckless driving. Leaving the scene of an accident with injuries. Failure to render aid. Before I pass sentence, do you or your attorney wish to say anything? The lawyer stands. He looks tired. Defeated. Your Honor, we ask for mercy. We ask the court to consider. There's no mercy without remorse, Judge Caprio interrupts. Does your client feel remorse? Real remorse? Not sorry I got caught remorse. Real regret for what he did. The lawyer looks at Dylan. Dylan looks at the floor. The lawyer sighs. Your Honor, my client is young. He's learning. He's about to learn a lot, Judge Caprio says. Here is the sentence. The courtroom holds its breath. You could hear a pin drop. A heartbeat. Time itself seems to slow. First, financial penalties. You will pay a fine of $12,500. That fine will go to the State Victim Compensation Fund. You will also pay $15,000 in restitution to Ms. Chun. That covers her medical bills, her lost wages, and her pain and suffering. Total financial penalty, $27,500. Due within 90 days. Dylan's eyes widen. $27,000. I don't have that kind of money. Then I suggest you get a job, Judge Caprio says. Or sell that gold chain. Your choice. Someone in the gallery laughs. A bitter laugh. But a laugh. Second, your driver's license is suspended for 180 days. 6 months. During that time, you will not drive. Not a car. Not a truck. Not a motorcycle. Not even a bicycle on public roads. You will walk. You will take the bus. You will learn what it's like to be dependent on others. To not have the freedom and privilege of driving. Dylan's mouth opens. How am I supposed to get to work? To school? The same way millions of Americans do. Public transportation. You might meet interesting people. Like Ms. Chun. She takes the bus every day because she can't afford a new car. You destroyed hers. Now you'll live like she lives. For 6 months. Dylan looks sick, pale green, like he might throw up. Third, Judge Caprio continues, community service. 250 hours. But not just any community service. You're going to do something very specific. He pauses, looks at Dylan, really looks at him. You're going to work as a patient transport aide at Rhode Island Hospital. In the trauma department, you will help move patients who have been in car accidents. You will see their injuries, their pain, their fear. You will push wheelchairs. You will empty bedpans. You will clean up blood and vomit and things I won't describe in polite company. You will do this every Saturday and Sunday for 25 weeks. 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. No exceptions. No excuses. No phone. No breaks except lunch. You will wear hospital scrubs with community service printed on the back. Everyone will know why you're there. The gallery gasps. This is harsh. Very harsh. But also perfectly fitting. Dylan is shaking his head. I can't do that. I'll pass out. I can't handle blood. Then you'll pass out, Judge Caprio says. And you'll get up. And you'll keep going. Because Ms. Chen couldn't handle the pain when you hit her. But she dealt with it anyway. She didn't have a choice. Neither do you. This is cruel, Dylan says. His voice is rising. Panicking. You're punishing me for something that was an accident. It wasn't an accident, Judge Caprio says firmly. Accidents are unavoidable. What you did was avoidable. You chose to tailgate. You chose to drive recklessly. You chose to hit her. You chose to leave. Every single step was a choice. And now you're going to live with the consequences of those choices. He's not done. Fourth, you will write a letter of apology to Ms. Chun. Not a typed letter. Not a lawyer-written letter. A handwritten letter. At least 1,000 words. In your own words. Explaining what you did. Why it was wrong. What you've learned. You will submit it to the court. I will read it. If it's not genuine, I will reject it. And you will write another one. And another. Until you get it right. Fifth, you will attend every single session of the Trauma Victim Impact Panel. That's 6 sessions over the next 6 months. You will sit. You will listen. You will hear from people whose lives were destroyed by reckless drivers. People who lost children, parents, spouses. You will look them in the eyes. You will feel their pain. Maybe, just maybe, it will sink in. Dylan's face is wet now. He's crying. Tears stream down his cheeks. His expensive jacket suddenly looks ridiculous. His gold chain looks cheap. Gaudy. Sixth, you are hereby placed on supervised probation for 2 years. You will meet with a probation officer every month. You will submit to random drug and alcohol testing. You will not commit any new offenses. You will not contact Ms. Chun except to deliver your apology letter through official channels. If you violate any terms of your probation, you will serve 90 days in the adult correctional institutions. That's jail, Mr. Brennan. Real jail. Not your college dorm. Not your comfortable bed. A cell. With bars. Do you understand? Dylan nods. He can't speak. He's sobbing now. Full sobs. His shoulders shake. Snot runs from his nose. He wipes it with his expensive jacket sleeve. Finally, Judge Caprio says, and his voice drops low, we come to the matter of contempt. You disrespected this court. You threatened me. You attempted to use your father's position to intimidate and influence. That behavior cannot stand. Therefore, I am sentencing you to 15 days in custody for contempt of court. Bailiff, take Mr. Brennan into custody. The courtroom erupts. This time it's not anger. It's shock and satisfaction. People are nodding. A woman claps once, then stops. The bailiff approaches Dylan. Wait. Dylan shouts. Wait. Your Honor, please. I'm sorry. I didn't mean it. Please don't do this. You had many opportunities to be sorry, Judge Caprio says. Many chances to show remorse. To take responsibility. You chose arrogance. You chose privilege. You chose to hide behind your father's badge. Now you'll spend 15 days thinking about those choices. Maybe it will help you become the man you should be. Maybe it won't. But either way, justice will be served. The bailiff is behind Dylan now. He produces handcuffs. The metal gleams. Dylan tries to pull away. No. No. This is insane. You can't do this. I can, Judge Caprio says. And I just did. You have the right to appeal. Your attorney will explain the process. But for now, you're in custody. The handcuffs close around Dylan's wrists. Click. Click. The sound echoes in the silent courtroom. Dylan's legs give out. The bailiff catches him, holds him up, leads him toward a side door. As Dylan is led away, he turns back. His face is red and wet and desperate. Dad will fix this. He'll get me out. You'll see. Judge Caprio shakes his head slowly. Your father can't fix this. Only you can. By changing. By growing. By becoming better. I hope you do. I really do. But that's up to you. The door closes behind Dylan. He's gone. The courtroom is silent. Stunned. Then slowly, like ice melting, people begin to react. Someone claps. Then another person. Then another. Soon half the gallery is applauding. The bailiff raises his hand. Order. Please. The clapping stops. But the feeling remains. Justice. Real justice. Equal justice. Judge Caprio turns to Rita Chun. Ms. Chun, I want to apologize on behalf of the court. On behalf of the system. You should never have been put through this. You should never have been treated like you didn't matter. You matter. Your pain matters. Your life matters. I hope this sentence brings you some measure of peace. Rita Chun stands. She bows slightly. A gesture of respect. Thank you, Your Honor. Thank you for seeing me. For hearing me. That's all I wanted. To be seen. You were always worth seeing, Judge Caprio says gently. Always. The session ends. People file out slowly. Talking. Discussing. Debating. Some think the sentence was too harsh. Most think it was perfect. A few think it wasn't harsh enough. Outside the courthouse, reporters wait. News cameras. They've heard about the case. Word travels fast. Officer Martinez walks out. Reporters swarm him. Officer Martinez, how do you feel about your colleague's son being jailed? Martinez stops. Thinks. I feel sad. Sad that it came to this. Officer Brennan is a good man. But his son needed to face consequences. We can't have two standards of justice. One for police families and one for everyone else. That breeds resentment. Anger. It breaks the trust between cops and communities. Judge Caprio did the right thing. The hard thing. But the right thing. Will this affect your relationship with Officer Brennan? Martinez shrugs. Probably. But I can live with that. I can look at myself in the mirror. That's what matters. He walks away. Head high. Inside the jail, Dylan Brennan is being processed. His expensive clothes are taken away. He's given orange scrubs. Paper slippers. He's led to a cell. 8 feet by 10 feet. Concrete walls. Metal bed. Thin mattress. A toilet in the corner. No privacy. He sits on the bed. Puts his face in his hands. Cries. Really cries. For the first time in his life, privilege can't save him. Money can't save him. His father's badge can't save him. He's alone. Truly alone. With only himself to blame. 3 weeks pass. Dylan serves his 15 days. They're the longest 15 days of his life. He doesn't sleep well. The mattress is hard. The cell is cold. The other inmates mostly ignore him. But one older man, in for drunk driving, talks to him. First time, the man asks. Dylan nods. It won't be your last unless you change. Really change. Not just say you'll change. Actually do it. I've been locked up 9 times. 9. Each time I said I'd do better. I never did. Now I've lost everything. My job. My wife. My kids won't talk to me. Don't be me, kid. Use this. Learn from it. Dylan listens. Really listens. Maybe for the first time. When he's released, his mother picks him up. Not his father. His mother. She's a quiet woman. Small. Sad. She hugs him. He cries again. Dad won't talk to me, he says in the car. I know, she says. He's ashamed. Of himself. Of you. Of the whole thing. He took early retirement. The department didn't fire him. But they made it clear he wasn't welcome anymore. His captain testified to internal affairs. They're investigating. He might face charges. Dylan feels sick. I ruined his life. No, his mother says firmly. He made his own choices. Just like you made yours. We all have to live with our choices. The next Saturday, Dylan reports to Rhode Island Hospital. He's wearing the scrubs the court ordered. They're too big. He looks small in them. Young. Scared. His supervisor is a woman named Carol. She's 50. She's worked in trauma for 28 years. She's seen everything. You're the court-ordered kid, she says. Not mean. Just factual. Yes, ma'am. Here's how this works. You do what I say. When I say it. No questions. No complaints. You work. You learn. If you're lucky, you'll leave here a better person than you came in. Understood? Yes, ma'am. Good. First job. We've got an MVA coming in. Motor vehicle accident. 19-year-old girl. Head-on collision. Drunk driver crossed the center line. She's critical. You're going to help transport her from the ambulance to Trauma Bay 3. You ready? Dylan isn't ready. He'll never be ready. But he nods anyway. The ambulance arrives. Sirens. Lights. Chaos. The girl is unconscious. There's blood everywhere. Her face is swollen. Unrecognizable. Her leg is bent at an impossible angle. The paramedics are doing CPR. Chest compressions. Fast. Rhythmic. Grab the foot of the gurney, Carol orders. And push when I say. Dylan grabs. His hands are shaking. The gurney is heavy. They move fast. Running. Through doors. Down hallways. Into a room full of people in scrubs and masks. 1, 2, 3 lift. Carol shouts. They transfer the girl to the trauma table. Doctors swarm. Nurses. A blur of motion and orders and beeping machines. Dylan stands against the wall. Watching. Horrified. This could have been Rita Chun. This could have been anyone. This could have been caused by him. Carol appears beside him. You okay? He shakes his head. No. Good, she says. That's the right answer. If you were okay, you'd be a sociopath. Come on. We've got work to do. The day continues. More patients. More injuries. A motorcycle crash. A pedestrian hit by a car. An elderly man who fell downstairs. Each one is a person. A life. A story. During lunch, Dylan sits in the cafeteria. He can't eat. His stomach is twisted in knots. Carol sits across from him. First day is always the hardest, she says. She's eating a sandwich. Calm. Normal. How can she be normal after what they just saw? Does it get easier? Dylan asks. No, Carol says. You just get stronger. You learn to carry it. The pain. The horror. The unfairness of it all. You carry it because someone has to. Because these people need help. And we're the ones who help them. I don't know if I can do this, Dylan admits. You can, Carol says. Because you have to. Because the alternative is going to jail. But also because maybe, somewhere in there, you're not as terrible as you think you are. Maybe you can learn. Maybe you can change. I've seen it happen. Not often, but sometimes. Why are you being nice to me? Dylan asks. You know what I did? Why I'm here? Carol shrugs. Because everyone deserves a chance. Not a second chance. Not a third. But a first chance to actually become who they should be. This is yours. Don't waste it. Weeks turn into months. Dylan works every weekend. He sees things that haunt him. A father who lost his son. A mother who lost her daughter. Children who lost parents. All because someone was driving too fast. Or too drunk. Or too distracted. Or too arrogant. He learns their names. Their stories. Sarah was 17. She wanted to be a teacher. Dead on arrival. Marcus was 32. He left behind 3 kids. Paralyzed from the neck down. Ava was 8. She was in the back seat. No seatbelt. Brain damage. She'll never be the same. Each name is a weight. Each story is a lesson. Dylan carries them all. In between hospital shifts, he attends the victim impact panels. He sits in the front row. He listens. One woman talks about her husband. Killed by a hit-and-run driver. They never caught the driver. She's been a widow for 6 years. She shows a picture of him. He was smiling. Happy. Alive. Every day, she says, her voice breaking. I wake up and remember he's gone. The driver who killed him is out there somewhere. Living their life. Maybe they forgot about it. Maybe they think about it every day. I don't know. But I know this. They took everything from me. And they just drove away. Dylan feels like she's talking directly to him. He feels like she knows. Like she can see into his soul. He wants to stand up. To apologize. To scream. But he just sits there. Silent. Drowning in guilt. After 3 months, Dylan finishes writing his letter to Rita Chun. He's written it 6 times. Each time, Judge Caprio sent it back. Not good enough. Try again. Mean it. The 7th letter is different. It's real. Raw. Honest. Dear Ms. Chun, I don't know if you'll ever read this. I don't know if you'll ever forgive me. I don't deserve forgiveness. But I need to try to explain. Not to excuse. Just to explain. When I hit you, I was thinking about myself. Only myself. I was late. I was angry. I was entitled. I thought I was more important than everyone else on the road. I thought my time mattered more. My convenience. My life. I didn't think about you. I didn't see you as a person. You were just an obstacle. A delay. An inconvenience. When I hit you, my first thought wasn't, are they okay? It was, this is going to be annoying. That's who I was. That's the truth. I left you there. Bleeding. Broken. Alone. I drove away. I went home. I washed my truck. I went out with friends. I laughed. I drank. I posted on social media. All while you were in surgery. All while you were in pain. I didn't think about you once. Not once. I'm not that person anymore. Or I'm trying not to be. These past 3 months have changed me. I've worked in the trauma department. I've seen what car crashes do to people. I've seen the blood, the tears, the death. I've met families who lost everything because someone like me was careless, reckless, cruel. I met a woman whose daughter died in a crash. The daughter was 6 years old. She had blonde hair and blue eyes, and she loved dinosaurs. The driver who killed her was texting. He got 2 years in prison. He's out now. The mother will never get her daughter back. Never. I met a man who's paralyzed because a drunk driver hit him. He used to be a firefighter. He saved lives. Now he can't feed himself. Can't walk. Can't live independently. He's 43 years old. He'll live like this for the rest of his life. Because someone else made a bad choice. I think about you every day. Every single day. I think about what I did to you. How I hurt you. How I didn't care. I think about how you're a hospice nurse. How you spend your days helping people die with dignity. How you're one of the good people in the world. And I hurt you. Me. One of the bad people. I'm sorry. I'm so deeply, completely, permanently sorry. I know that doesn't change anything. I know it doesn't fix your wrist. It doesn't erase your pain. It doesn't give you back the time you lost. But it's all I have. It's the only thing I can offer. My sincere, genuine, heartbroken apology. I hope you're healing. I hope your wrist is better. I hope you're back to work. Helping people. Being the person you've always been. Good. Kind. Caring. Everything I wasn't. I'm trying to be better. I don't know if I'll succeed. But I'm trying. Because of you. Because of what you went through. Because you deserve better than what I gave you. Thank you for not giving up. For surviving. For being strong. You're a hero. I'm not. But maybe someday I can be worthy of sharing the road with people like you. Sincerely, Dylan Brennan. Judge Caprio reads the letter. He reads it twice. Then he makes a note. Approved. 5 months after the sentencing, there's a review hearing. Dylan stands before Judge Caprio again. But he looks different. He's thinner. His clothes are plain. A simple button-up shirt. Khakis. No jewelry. His hair is shorter. Neater. His eyes are different too. Older. Sadder. But also clearer. Mr. Brennan, Judge Caprio says, I've received your completed community service logs. All 250 hours. Certified by Carol Martinez at Rhode Island Hospital. She's included a letter. Would you like to hear it? Dylan nods. His hands are clasped in front of him. Respectful. Judge Caprio reads, Your Honor, I have supervised Dylan Brennan for 5 months. When he started, I didn't think he'd last a week. He was scared. Weak. Entitled. But he showed up. Every single week. Even when he was sick. Even when his friends were at parties. Even when it was hard. And it was hard. I made sure of that. I've watched him grow. He's learned to work. To listen. To care. He's held the hands of dying patients. He's cleaned up messes most people couldn't stomach. He's done it without complaint. Without arrogance. With humility. Last week we had a patient. A young woman. Car accident. She was terrified. Screaming. In pain. Dylan held her hand. He talked to her. Calm. Gentle. He said, I know you're scared. I'm here. You're not alone. She calmed down. She trusted him. That's not something you can fake. That's genuine compassion. I don't know if Dylan Brennan is fully changed. That's not for me to say. But I know he's different than he was. He's better. Whether that's permanent or temporary, only time will tell. But he's earned his hours. And he's earned my respect. Signed, Carol Martinez, RN. The courtroom is quiet. People are listening. Watching. Rita Chun is there. In the back row. Dylan doesn't know. Not yet. Judge Caprio sets the letter down. Mr. Brennan, you've completed your community service. You've attended all 6 victim impact panels. You've written an acceptable letter of apology. You've paid your fines in full. You've stayed out of trouble. Your probation officer reports that you're compliant, respectful, trying. Is that accurate? Yes, Your Honor, Dylan says. I'm trying. Every day. Good. There's someone here who wants to speak. Miss Chun, would you approach? Dylan turns. His face goes pale. Rita Chun stands. She walks forward slowly. She's healed well. Her wrist is still in a brace, but it's lighter now. Smaller. She can use it. Mostly. She stands next to Dylan. Not too close, but near enough. She looks at him. He looks at her. Face to face. For the first time since the collision. Ms. Chun, Judge Caprio says, you asked to speak. Go ahead. Rita Chun takes a breath. Mr. Brennan, I received your letter. I've read it many times. At first I was angry. I wanted to rip it up, to throw it away, to tell you where you could put your apology. But I didn't. I read it, really read it, and I believe you. I believe you're sorry. I believe you've changed. Or at least you're trying to change. Dylan's eyes fill with tears. He doesn't wipe them away. He just stands there, listening. What you did hurt me, Rita continues. Not just physically. Emotionally. I was scared to drive for months. I had nightmares. I still do sometimes. I see headlights coming at me, and I panic. That's what you did. That's what you took from me. I know, Dylan whispers. I'm so sorry. But, Rita says, and her voice softens slightly, I also know that hate doesn't heal. Anger doesn't fix things. You were young, stupid, arrogant. But young people can change. They can grow. My own son made mistakes. Big mistakes. I didn't give up on him. He's a good man now. A father. A teacher. Because I gave him a chance to be better. So I'm giving you that chance too. Dylan is crying openly now. Tears stream down his face. Thank you, he says. Thank you so much. Don't thank me, Rita says. Thank Judge Caprio. Thank Carol Martinez. Thank the people who held you accountable. And then do better. Be better. Make this mean something. Don't waste this second chance. I won't, Dylan says. I promise. I won't. Rita nods. She turns to Judge Caprio. Your Honor, I don't want him in prison. I don't want his life destroyed. I want him to learn. To help others. To make the world safer. I think he can do that. I hope he does. Judge Caprio nods slowly. Ms. Chun, you are a remarkable woman. Thank you. She returns to her seat. Dylan watches her go. His face is wet, but his expression is grateful. Humble. Judge Caprio speaks. Mr. Brennan, you fulfilled your obligations. I'm terminating your probation. Your license suspension will be lifted in 2 weeks. You're free to drive again. But I want you to remember something. Every time you get behind the wheel, you're holding people's lives in your hands. Their futures. Their families. Drive like you care. Because you should. Do you understand? Yes, Your Honor. I understand. Good. I'm also ordering that your record be annotated. Any future traffic offense, no matter how minor, will result in immediate jail time. This is your only chance. Don't blow it. I won't, Your Honor. I hope not. You're dismissed. Dylan walks out of the courtroom. His mother is waiting. She hugs him. He hugs her back. Hard. I'm proud of you, she says. Don't be, Dylan says. Not yet. I haven't earned it. But I will. I'm going to. Outside, Officer Martinez is waiting. He and Dylan make eye contact. Dylan walks over. They stand facing each other. 2 people whose lives collided and changed forever. Officer Martinez, Dylan says. I need to apologize to you too. You told the truth. You did your job. And I'm grateful. You could have lied. You could have protected me because of my dad. But you didn't. You chose justice. Thank you. Martinez nods. Just doing what's right, kid. Keep doing what you're doing. Make your dad proud. The right way. They shake hands. A moment of connection. Of understanding. Of mutual respect earned through hardship. 6 months later, Dylan Brennan is working. Not at some fancy job. Not at his dad's friend's company. At a nonprofit. Safe Roads, Rhode Island. He talks to high school students about the dangers of reckless driving. He shows them pictures from the trauma department. He tells them his story. The real story. No sugarcoating. No excuses. I almost killed someone, he tells a classroom of teenagers. Because I thought I was special. Because I thought the rules didn't apply to me. I was wrong. So wrong. And I'm lucky. Lucky I didn't kill her. Lucky she survived. Lucky I got a second chance. Most people don't. Don't be like I was. Be better. Be smarter. Be careful. Lives depend on it. The students listen. Some roll their eyes. But most pay attention. Because Dylan isn't preaching. He's confessing. And confession is powerful. At night, Dylan volunteers at the hospital. Not court-ordered. By choice. He helps Carol. He transports patients. He holds hands. He offers comfort. It's become part of who he is now. Part of his identity. Part of his redemption. His father, Thomas, is working again. Not as a cop. That chapter closed. But as a security consultant. Teaching proper procedures. Ethics. Accountability. The department didn't press charges. But they made sure everyone understood privilege doesn't exist here. Not anymore. Father and son are talking again. Slowly. Carefully. Rebuilding a relationship that almost broke forever. I'm sorry I let you down, Thomas says one evening over coffee. You didn't let me down, Dad, Dylan says. I let myself down. You just tried to protect me. I get it. But I didn't need protection. I needed consequences. I needed to grow up. Judge Caprio gave me that. And I'm grateful. Thomas nods. His eyes are red. I'm proud of you, son. Finally. Truly proud. They sit in comfortable silence. Two imperfect men. Trying. Learning. Growing. Back in Providence Municipal Court, Judge Frank Caprio sits in his chambers. Another day. Another case. Always more cases. The work never ends. But on his desk is a framed picture. It's Dylan Brennan and Rita Chun. Together. Smiling. It was taken at a Safe Roads fundraiser. Dylan had organized it. Rita had attended. They'd pose for a photo. Proof that healing is possible. That change is real. That justice, when done right, doesn't just punish. It transforms. Judge Caprio looks at the photo. He smiles. Not a big smile. Just a small one. Satisfied. This is why he does what he does. Not for the power. Not for the prestige. For moments like this. When the system works. When people learn. When justice actually means something. A knock on his door. The bailiff. Your Honor, next case is ready. I'll be right there, Judge Caprio says. He stands. Puts on his robe. Takes a breath. And walks back into the courtroom. Because the work continues. The fight for equal justice. For fairness. For accountability. For redemption. One case at a time. One person at a time. One chance at a time. In Judge Frank Caprio's courtroom, it doesn't matter who your father is. It doesn't matter who your friends are. It doesn't matter how much money you have, or what you wear, or what you drive. What matters is what you did. What you do. Who you choose to be. And that's not just justice. That's hope. Hope that we can all be better. That we can all change. That we can all earn our second chances through hard work and humility and genuine remorse. Money can buy many things. It can buy expensive clothes and gold chains and powerful trucks. It can buy lawyers and connections and influence. But it cannot buy back time. It cannot undo harm. It cannot purchase respect. And in Judge Frank Caprio's courtroom, it definitely cannot buy justice. Justice is earned. By doing right. By taking responsibility. By facing consequences. By changing. By growing. By becoming who you should have been all along. That's the lesson Dylan Brennan learned. That's the lesson we all need to learn. Because on the road, in the courtroom, in life itself, we're all equal. We all matter. We all deserve justice. Real justice. Equal justice. For everyone. No exceptions. No excuses. No special treatment. Just the law. Fair. Firm. And forever on the side of what's right.